Hello and welcome to Prescott Hill Climb for the opening round of the 2025 British Hill Climb Championship. As you can see, our top 10 finishers from last year, including our reigning champion, are returning for another crack at the title. 2024 British Hill Climb champion, and you got married. So how's the off season been for you?
It's been really busy, to be honest with you. Yeah, as I say, we got married at the back end of last year. The car's all ready to go for this year, but not too much change from last year, and hoping for another great season ahead. I don't think I'd count anyone out. I'm sure Willis will be as quick as he is. There's a reason he's won the championship multiple times. He's got a great package and some great driving and lots of hills and lots of hill records still to beat. I'm hoping we can have some good results throughout the year. I don't think it's probably not worth specifically thinking about the championship until a little bit later on. It's about weekend by weekend doing as well as you can at each one to start the season, and then probably, we get to the midpoint, we get to Wiscombe, Channel Islands, that kind of like June, July period, and I think we can look at the leaderboard then and see what's possible and aim for the top if we can.
Right, we're here with Alex Summers. Alex, how are you today?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. This weekend, what's it about for you? What's your plan? What's your target? This whole championship this year?
So I have a soft season planned, really. Son was born 3 months ago, a little baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I really want to focus on that. I don't want to spend lots of time travelling. Obviously, we live very locally to here, so these ones, Shelsley, maybe the odd Gurston. But it's not really fair on a small baby to go long distances, and it's certainly not fair on Debbie, my wife. Yeah, we'll focus on the family events where we can all be here.
Who's your money on for the title this year then? If you're kind of counting yourself out of it, who do you think you put your money on?
Out of the gate, Matt's half a second quicker than us. I think that's what I predicted. Confidence breeds confidence, isn't it? And when you're on that crest of a wave and you believe in yourself and you believe in the car, really, a bad weekend is you don't overthink it. Whereas when you're chasing, that's kind of where I got to last year. You get a bit desperate maybe, and you go down blind alleys. And Matt's in form. And the car's in form. I can't see past him. I don't want to be negative to anyone else, but generally what happens is a driver gets a car in the window and they get their head right, and they will then be consistently successful. And you saw that with Willis, you saw that with Trevor, you saw that with Scott Moran. So I think Matt, I'm very fond of Matt, and I think he's a good talent.
We're with Will Hall, number 3 in the championship last year. You think you got anything for Matt Ryder this year?
Well, hopefully, yes. That's the aim of the sport, isn't it? To try and beat your competition. So we can only try our best. So yeah.
The development, you've literally been developing the car over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Is it pretty much where you want it now for this season?
Yeah, hopefully. We've done a little bit more again over the winter, and I'm fingers crossed it's going to be the final bits really to make the car work. So yeah.
And what are you looking for this weekend? Have you got a sort of a target in your head where you want, like you'd be happy with leaving here, after the 2 runoffs? You looking for a result?
Well, the brain says 2 wins, but there's plenty of other people who want 2 wins as well. Yeah.
Right. So I just want to talk about the different variety of hill climb cars here. So what you can do is buy a car, stick a timing beam on it, which is this piece of this here, which is what breaks the beam. You can buy a car, enter it, and as you can see from a wonderful selection of cars here, you can run pretty much anything. There's a Porsche Championship. We've got 2 GT4 Porsches here. There's a GT4 RS behind us and another GT4 RS over there. Proper cars that you had to get on a list to buy, being used properly. You've got Clios, Honda S2000 with that screaming K24 engine in it, unbelievable thing. Fiat Abarths, you've got a wide variety of cars. So the beautiful thing about hill climbing is that you really can do it in just about anything with 4 wheels.
Right, we're with Trevor Willis, number 5 in the British Championship last year, and the only driver in the top 10 in an OMS chassis car, so it's a completely different package. How's the car? You've done a little bit of testing and you've been out a couple of times. How's the car working for you this year?
Well, so far all I've really done is crash it, so and had a problem with the engine. So I've repaired the crash damage and repaired the engine, so that's really been my testing.
Okay, so not the smoothest of starts to the season. Are you taking on the whole championship again?
Yep, yeah, another year doing the whole championship. Yeah, why not?
What year number does this make this? Making you think here.
Yeah, I think it's probably something like the 25th year I've been competing in the HillClimb Championship, I think. No, probably even longer than that, but 25 years with a V8, I think.
What's your mental approach? You want to finish a certain place? You want to have fun? You want to do what you can? Like, how do you set yourself up? Like, do you have targets?
Yeah, so I want to win both runoffs and break the record on both of them. That might not be a realistic target, but that's all of us. That's really what we want to do. I mean, realistically, if I can come in the top 5, I'd be pretty happy with that. But it doesn't stop me trying to win every runoff and break the record.
The wonderful thing about Prescott Hill Climb and hill climbing in general is it's one of the most accessible forms of motorsport in the whole of the UK, if not the world. You've got the paddock that the public can just have a roam around, you can see, get up close to the cars, understand what goes into preparing them, talk to some of the crew even, and kind of ask your own questions. It's an extremely accessible sport, very, very good to go and have a little chat and enjoy for yourself, really.
Hill climbing, we've shown you all, the top British runners and everything else, but it's not just restricted to single-seaters and everything. You can get involved in hill climbing with something as basic and simple as a standard Renault Clio, which you see behind me. This is a Clio 182. And in this case, it's a husband and wife team, Ian and Maggie Richards, that actually compete in this car. Why standard car and you and your wife compete together?
Right. I've been competing for more than 30 years. A mixture of Lotuses, single-seaters and road-going cars. And I've had more fun in this car than the rest put together, I think. And part of the reason is I just drive it to meetings. There's no bother with having to have a trailer at home or a transporter. And the car is fantastic, straight out the box from Renault. That hasn't stopped me modifying it, but nevertheless, it's just been really good fun. If I destroy it in an accident, I'll just go and buy another one. It won't be ruinous.
So you're talking very low-cost budget motorsport where we've got cars over £100,000 and plus in one part of the paddock, and a couple thousand pounds in the Clio?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yes, about that, darling. Yes.
And then you've suddenly got behind the wheel. Now, have you been hill climbing for 30 years, or have you just got fed up with him disappearing on weekends?
Well, Ian made the mistake one year of buying me one of the driver's days for a Christmas present. Okay. So next thing he knows, I think, Ian, can I share your car with you, please? And then he was still sharing with David, so then he had to buy me a car. So we've actually got a pair of Clios. I've got one at home, but this year we're both competing in the blue one, and it's loads of fun.
The beauty of Prescott Hill Climb is that you've got such a great vantage point of the cars coming through Torres, Pardon, and some incredible corners. So isn't it one of the best things in British motorsport, Owen?
Absolutely. Where are you going to get cars this fast with this hard acceleration where you can just sit on the nice grassy hill and oversee the power? Look at that. That's Graham Wynn in his Gould GR59 accelerating through. The popping and banging you're hearing is actually the traction control.
Yeah. It's a fantastic place to come and see motorsport, so come and get amongst it and come and see some of the world's fastest cars on hill climbs. Absolutely fantastic.